What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Time Is Now. We're here with a full day of eating video for you guys. I know that the YouTube algorithm loves an eating video, and I know that you guys love an insight into how different people set up different things with different foods and how we're going to try and optimize what I eat during the day to maximize my performance, my ability to do my cardio, but also muscle retention and all those types of things. So there are things that we go through this process, and they probably will change as we go through the process. We've got to think that I'm going to go from doing no days of cardio to doing everyday cardio. We're going to go from being 110 kilos to maybe under 100, and we're going to have a lot of energy demand, which may have to change where your food goes. But for right now, of this moment, this is going to be my full day of eating. We'll do another one if anything changes. It's a training day. Today I'm eating higher amounts of calories. I have higher amounts of calories on my training day than my non-training day, obviously because there's a bigger calorie demand, and obviously because we want to fuel that performance but also recover from that performance on that training day. So my total macros today are going to be 550 grams of carbohydrates, 300 grams of protein, and 60 grams of fat. Pretty well balanced. Food's probably quite high for some people. It's about 4,000 calories, but obviously carrying a lot of muscle mass, having a high metabolism, I'm already losing quite a lot of weight on that, which is cool. So the first thing I'm going to do right here is I'm going to make my intro workout. So within intro workout today, and now this will change a little bit as we go. We're obviously going to implement things that potentially require other nutrients to help manage things, which we'll talk about in a second. But right now I have 70 grams of Foresight Recarb, probably my favorite carbohydrate workout on the market at the moment. It's also not extortionate prices like some of the other ones. But really just straight carbohydrates, highly branched introduction. This tastes nice as well. Melon berry, this one is just a new flavor. Then we come with the CMP loaded EAAs. This is the Fruit Splash EAA. I have 30 grams of this, which is essentially now 30 grams of protein from EAAs, an essential amino acid, 70 grams of carbohydrates from highly branched cyclodextrin. Both of those highly digestible, highly absorbable, will pass through the gut lining very, very quickly for almost instant energy, and help those prolonged sessions a little bit. As food gets lower, that is plus 400 calories of a shake. As food gets lower, I'm going to want to eat those calories. But for right now, I've got a decent amount of food. I'm not crazy hungry because it's only the first couple of weeks. I'm happy having my intro in there because of the performance benefits at this point. We then have creatine. There may be a 0.00 something % chance that you're going to absorb a little bit more creatine in a window where you're kind of demanding a little bit of it. No real science behind it. I just have it also because it just fits nicely with the shake. As we move further through the cut, as we introduce things like clenbuterol, fat burners, which are going to deplete things like the potassium and your electrolytes, I will add electrolytes into this as well as taurine to stop any cramping or anything like that. So this is my initial calories for the day, and this is actually some of my first and only calories of the day. The only other thing that I do, which I'm going to do right now, I have a Rice Krispie Square bar. Why? Just because it's something quick for instant energy. I don't like going in fully fasted at the moment because I've noticed the drop in energy being a little bit fasted. This is 25 grams of carbs plus the intra. That's more than enough to take me through my workout. Obviously, as we go through this, I'm not going to be having a Rice Krispie Square bar before I eat. I'm most likely going to move my training a little bit later. But at the moment, we're training fasted-ish. I say fasted because I do fasted walking before. I wake up about 7:30. I'm training at 10. I don't eat until 9:45 where I'm having the Rice Krispie Square bar and then having the intro workout. So those are my first calories of the day. We'll see you. So we're here for our potentially the biggest carbohydrate meal that we have of the day. Now, the reason why we have the biggest carbohydrate meal of the day post-workout, when we're working out, we have an upregulation of a glucose transporter. It's called GULT4. And obviously, if you've got an upregulation in a glucose transporter, you have a bigger ability to transport glycogen, potentially more use for having more glycogen post-workout with a big demand of it. So we have about 160 grams of carbs here. I've got 3 bagels. Obviously, I've only got 2 here. I'm going to have one with jam afterwards to add a few more carbohydrates to it. 250 grams of chicken, which is about 60 grams of protein. 3 bagels, which is 45 grams of carbs each, plus the 30 grams of jam. We make about 160 carb, 60 protein, maybe a little bit more protein because of the bagels, and just 10 fat there with a little bit of sweet chili hummus on there, just as like a condiment. Only 30 grams, which is only 80 calories, and obviously I've got the room and the maneuver in my diet to have a little bit extra. And then I've got a load of salad in here. I don't count any of my vegetables. I don't count any of my salad. Because it's consistent every day. I just try and eat as much of it as I can per day, and I'll make sure that I don't just overeat that to compensate for being hungry as I move further on. So technically meal 1, but second proportion of calories a day today. We're going to come in for meal 2. I call it meal 2, but third calorie ingestion period of time. We're going to go easy, super easy, bodybuilder meal. Chicken, same as before. This is free-range corn-fed. I actually much prefer the free-range corn-fed chicken. And then we're going into rice. We're going to have 120 grams of rice, which is 100 carb. We're going to have 250 grams of chicken, which is 50 to 60 protein. We're then going to have just a packet of veg from the freezer, stick in the microwave. Easy, very, very standard, basic bodybuilding meal. I'm also going to have some of my kryptonite, my current prep fiending, and these are pop chips. Popped, not fried. That's the motto there. They're absolutely fantastic. They're like relatively low fat. I've still got a decent amount of fat in at the moment, so I can still have these little luxuries. I've still got enough food in there to have these little luxuries. I still have an appetite that's not crazy, so I can still have these luxuries like pop chips. So I'm going to have like 50 grams of pop chips, which is about 300 calories, 30 grams of carbs, about 10 grams of fat, and that's going to wrap up this meal. So it's going to take us to about 120 carb, 60 protein, and about 10 fat. And it's another meal. Trying to get those regular protein servings. So obviously we had the protein serving with the intra with 30 grams, trying to spike that muscle protein synthesis. We then had 60 grams of protein post-workout. We then wait another 3 or 4 hours. So at the moment I think it's about 4:30, and we have another serving of protein. So we're just trying to have those regular spikes of protein throughout the day to maximize our intake of muscle protein synthesis and essential amino acids. We're going to have this meal. We're going to sit down, eat, chill, do a little bit more work like we've been doing this afternoon, and then in about 3 or 4 hours I'm going to have my next meal and probably my final protein serving meal, but I also have a snack after that, but we'll take you through that. So meal number 2, chicken, rice, vegetables, pop chips. Let's go. So that is a half-eaten final meal of the day. Final meal of the day, not final calories of the day. So this meal, made by my lovely mother. She weighs out my food for me. Yes, I'm 28. I'm at home with my mum and she's making me meals. Let me be. I haven't been back for a while. We've got 500 grams of potato there, which is about 100 grams of carbs. We've got chicken there, 250 grams of chicken there, which is another 60 grams of protein. We've got a little bit of greenery there, but like I said, I don't track that. Literally the seasonings that I use for chicken and beef and anything else that I do use, they're things that I don't count those either, because generally if I have the exact same amount every single time, it doesn't make a difference. It's only if I add more and more and more as I go, it adds the calories up. But if they're the exact same every single time I make my chicken, all the way until I prep, all the way until prep is over, then I'm fine. A little bit of salt, a little bit of vinegar. Lovely. This is like a main course snack, and then this one's like a dessert snack. So I have like I end up having a few carbs left and a little bit of protein, but I like to snack on the carbs. So I'm gonna have 3 salt and vinegar rice cakes, Snacker Jacks, as like a main course. Then I'm gonna have 3 honey and corn rice cakes as like a dessert because it's got a little bit of honey on it. And then we've got a little bit of protein, which we're gonna make into a mug cake, and that'd be macros done. Final calories. So we had a little bit of carbs left. So I've got 165 grams of apple, which is about 20 grams of carbs just to finish it off. And then we've got some protein mug cake. Now this is 40 grams of protein, 45 grams of protein, with a little bit of almond milk, basically made into a silky paste. Put in the microwave for about 30 seconds, or until desired consistency, and finished off. Those are the macros for the day. That is a full day of eating in the moment. Regular protein servings, we've got that carbohydrate window to preserve performance. But like I said, I'm probably going to be moving when I train to about midday. So I'm probably going to have a meal before I train now. So things will change a little bit, but we'll constantly do some full day of eating. So we'll do some on the rest day as well, because food choice does change a little bit. This is not the most optimal diet. This is just the one that suits me. I eat different things sometimes as well. I do, if it fits your macros. I just keep to those same bases of trying to get that protein in regularly, trying to get good carbohydrates around the workout window, and just ensuring that I maximize my performance, but also delivering myself psychologically the benefit of eating some good food when I want it. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll be back really soon. Peace, everybody. Bye-bye.